So I'm recording the video for Thursday before Shabbos, and we'll have to do the Friday video on Saturday night because Shabbos is coming in pretty early still at 4:29 p.m. Depending on your location, that's my location. And even with the 18 minutes, the buffer zone, and even if you go by the slowest clock in your house, it's still, almost, it's really like feels like afternoon, even though it's, the nightfall. So, sunset. So, God willing, we'll do the blessings today also. So I want to share from mesilat yesharim, Path of the Just, Path of the Righteous, chapter 6, from Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzatto, the Ramchal. After watchfulness from negative, after you're watchful, in order to, you're watching out for the negative, then you can be zealous. So you're watching out to not get with negative, and then you can be zealous toward what you want, which is positive. And so by engaging in the mitzvos, the good deeds that Hashem commanded, and their completion, and just like saving oneself from the snares of the evil inclination to escape from evil so it doesn't rule, so it doesn't mix in, and this requires a great intelligence, great foresight. It also requires great cleverness, foresight, to grasp the mitzvot, acquire them, and not lose them. So in other words, we're trying to get out of the clutches of the predator, kind of the negativity. And at the same time, we're trying to be the predator to get our prey, which is the mitzvahs. But we're not saying, lahadzol, which means like a separation. We're not saying this in any negative way. And we want to be like magnetically repulsed from evil and attracted to good. So the evil inclination causes and strives within its strategies to cast man into the nets of sin. So too, it also strives to prevent from performing the mitzvahs, and to leave him devoid of them. So a weak, lazy man will constantly remain shaken out, empty of them, if he doesn't strongly pursue them to hold them. You have to be active about this. And a man's nature could be heavy and weighing down earthly, this gross sort of physicality, and doesn't want to exert and labor. So we would say that this conservation of energy is one of the laws built into the world. And God, who designed the world exactly in this way, with the program of conservation of energy, gave us the ability to earn and to work and to go above nature by resisting gravity, and therefore we become anti-gravity. Gravity can't, and we become magnetic, and we become attractive. So we have the merit of serving the Creator to strengthen ourselves against our own nature in order to muster up this zeal, and then we can imagine we're more connected to the Creator of the universe and less operating as only a creation in the universe, with the force of nature keeping us repressed inside of gravity and heaviness. And if you think about it, if the body without anything, often it would just, if you never did anything to go get food or to go anywhere, and you just laid there, eventually the body will die. You do need to go and get something to eat. You do need to go and get water, unless there's a miracle story that it happens for an extended period of time. But to succeed, we need to be strong to bend, the nature to this opposite, which is the fact that, a lazy person doesn't actively do evil, but through inactivity, he brings evil upon himself. He does not directly commit evil and destroy with his hands, but he's a comrade. He's a comrade and a brother to the destroyer, is what the Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzatto says. A lazy person won't find the interpretation of the Torah. He seeks because he did not sufficiently labor. In other words, he won't have the blueprint guidance clear, and he'll be sitting in judgment. He'll be and while sitting in judge, he won't be able to judge clearly, because he will think the clean is unclean, the pure is impure, and the pure unclean, the impure clean, and he breaches the fence that's set by the Torah sages because of this. And so here we go. And so in Koheles, it says, 10:8. Koheles is Ecclesiastes from King Solomon. One who breaches a fence will be bitten by a snake. So these things won't be clear to this man who's slowly, getting bogged down. Little by little, the evil will befall him, and beyond, God forbid, and beyond his sense and knowledge, he's pulled from one evil to another, because now the strength of the magnet is pulling him, and he is no longer the magnetic force with which he can actively be zealous. Rather, he's going to be weighed down till he's in the ultimate evil from bit by bit, just because he doesn't fight against it. It's like coming in. If that's not bad enough, he distorts and transgresses, making up stories, destroying the truth. It's really a creeping poison, the author says, that its effect is delayed and it's perverting him. Many disregard their understood duty and the grasped truth because of this heavy overcoming laziness. It's just a little, he prefers to eat, sleep, get out of the cold, the heat, the rain. He wants to put on his coat, but he's really abandoning the service of God because he's just so lazy, he can't handle anything that's a little bit of work. He's very idly going by, and even using logical rationalizations from these distorted thinkings to, argue for leniency, because he thinks, it's too hard. Like, if he's left to laziness, he'll be tranquil. To get himself off the hook, he has tons of great answers and quotes and believes all the rebuke that he gets, he feels is foolish and mistaken and considers himself as he alone the wise one. And this is why all leniencies must be investigated by the art of separation, because even if it's possibly justified and correct, it's more likely to be the advice of the evil inclination and its deceit. If it's looking for a loophole, if it's looking for a reason why you shouldn't do better and do the right thing. So therefore, one has to really investigate with much analysis and examination and figure out if after, all this meticulousness it still stands as meritorious, is certainly good. At least I'm doing it, or the leniency is there for a good reason. So we have to cast off the impeding weight of laziness and strengthen ourselves and fortify our zeal. And this is really, zealousness and for earning magnetism. And it's very important to remember that I think that there's a group of religious Orthodox people, they call themselves Charedim. In Israel, Charedi actually means zealot. So a lot of Jewish people will actually be acting out this principle that their goal is to go above and beyond, in order to not be weighed down by the laziness. And then I want to share from the Baal Shem Tov. This is from the founder of Chassidus. So in the book of teachings, they wrote about him from his teachings called the Keser Shem Tov. They have a teaching. It's called a Dvar Torah, a teaching, a word of Torah, or a thing of Torah, idea of Torah, a subject, a teaching. So Jeremiah 31:13. Then the virgin will rejoice in the dance. The Baal Shem Tov gives a parable. He says, after being face to face and very close, there must be a distance in order to reach a higher experience of being face to face. The parable is a dance. The dancers first get close, then farther away from each other, and then come back again to be together. There must be a distance in order to reach a deeper closeness. And so it might feel like, why should I be zealous and bridge a gap like God's over there and I have to go all the way over there? I mean, we know that God is here and there and everywhere, but the idea that God is, there's no way that can keep God out. God is the magnetic power that fills through, the fulfilling power and the permeating power. So the presence. So the idea that God is ever far is just for us to understand how to get through the laziness, to get to that, like the container, to enter into the container in order to be like in this container of this channel of godliness will be, there must be the distance in order to reach a deeper closeness. And those that, and then in tehillim, which is the Psalms from King David. So there's tehillim 117. Verse 23, it is those that go down to the sea in ships who perform tasks in mighty waters. And so these are, hold on, this can't be right. It just can't be 117 because I already know that 117 is only 2 lines. I'm not trying to show off. It can't be 117. So let's see. What else could that be? Strange, because they're not so long that they could have 23 in the 110s, you know? I don't know. So I figured out it's 107. It's not 117. Anyway, so 107, verse 23. Those that go down to the sea in ships who perform tasks in mighty waters. The Baal Shem Tov says these are the souls who are performing tasks in mighty waters that need to go down to the sea to work in the great waters to save those souls who have fallen into a state of desperation and mourning, and they're being like, you can imagine that they're in the clutches of this, what we've been calling like the gravity of they're being cast about, and so on. So may we all have a beautiful Shabbos, and may we be zealous. May we have great energy and magnetic power. May we be good parents to ourselves. May we understand, the benefit to working hard and earning and rising above our nature in such a way, so integrated, the knowledge integrated, that we actually can find a way to enjoy even and not rush to finish, and sort of stay present while we're in these experiences of vessels that we might think of as tasks or hard, difficult, challenging. And may we be blessed with sparkling love, sweet, good feelings, feeling safe, closure and openings in a very smooth way, and feeling supported from all sides, resources and blessings. And may things line up quickly. May we be immune to all doubt, and may we feel Hashem's desire for us as our own will. May we be able to resist getting angry and instead take more precautions on not dealing with noxious or toxic energies. May we all have whoever needs a full refuah shlema. May we experience good friendship, community, belonging, and easily finishing projects maybe that have been waiting for a while. It's the perfect time in the winter for the underground shift so that things will bloom and blossom. And may the masculine energy be very balanced, and may the feminine energy be very trusting, and may together there be synergy and that fulfillment and satisfaction of amplification, which is of great importance when we desire impact. And may we have true menuchas and nefesh, peace in the vitality, peace, like tranquility, serenity, menucha, like real rest, and like a deep rest that allows us to not feel like it's so hard that it's even hard to work hard. Like may it feel like a sense of relief deep within, so that we could do what we have to do without having to dig so deep, that it feels impossible. May we easily dig deep and really get what we need, and may we have healthy, good food, and may our consumption be measured in a way that feels like we're being gifted with good portions and enjoyment and health. And may we each one individually feel free and together as well.